Hello YouTube and welcome back to my channel. Today's topic, AI. Good, bad, does it stifle creativity? Well, let's find out. I was scrolling along yesterday when I happened across this video, which inspired this topic. So let's listen to a little bit of it and then we'll get into my thoughts and opinions about this.
Of course we care about artists. That's why we gave them the opportunity to license their style for exposure.
Are you worried AI will cause job loss?
I already fired everyone months ago.
We've always been nonprofit in spirit. The revenue just ensures that spirit can thrive.
Do you think AI is replacing real creativity?
Only the kind that can't make money.
Before we get to that, could someone explain what a prompt is again?
We didn't replace the artists. We simply freed them from the burden of relevance.
Honestly, the responsible AI pitch worked way better than I thought. We doubled valuation just by putting a dove in the logo.
Yeah.
AI equals God.
People ask if generative art replaces artists.
I don't think so. I think it replaces the need to pay them.
This track was made in under 3 seconds using the power of the future.
We don't just build AI. We build ethical AI.
Alright, so stopping there. They are dead wrong. I do not know where these clips came from, who came up with this idea. But have you ever used these products? Because I've been dabbling around and attempting to see what they are about, if they are good or bad. And what I have found is you actually have to work twice as hard. Okay, CoPilot. Advertise, great, we'll help you get your story started. No problem. They are limited to 700 words at a time. That's it. All you can post is 700 words per chapter. Do you know how short of a story that would be? Then, let's move on. Claude AI, another really popular one. Well, here's the generalization for that, is that it can actually do a substantial amount of text. But it is limited to how much text can be in each chat. And it does not hold memory from one chat to the next. So you are limited by what you can do, because if you run out of chat space, which is only about 8 or 9 chapters of a decent length, give or take, you have to start all over again because it holds no memory. You go on to ChatGPT. Oh, that is a really popular one. They were not only limited by all of the AI's ethical bounds. So if you want to write horror, like I do, you cannot have any graphic violence, blood, or anything. Up until recently, when that has changed. You also cannot write any sexually explicit content on any of it. Now, with that being said, the other issue that we find with AI is they are talking about it's replacing artists. It's not. And here's why. Because not only are you limited by the constraints of the AI, which, by the way, should be called AS for artificially stupid. Because it screws up details, it forgets where you're at. Even the ones that do hold memory have no clue what you're doing. Like I said, I was just giving it a test run to see if maybe it could help. But I found that I have to work harder because one character would die in a chapter. The next chapter, they're mysteriously alive again. You tell the thing, you give it instructions and say, do not add this, this, or this. And it might work for one chapter, maybe 2. And then it's adding it again. And then it's like, why do I have to keep telling you? I'm sorry. You're absolutely right. I shouldn't have done that. Let me fix it. Only to keep repeating the process. Not to mention, even Ryan Reynolds makes fun of AI's writing in his Mint commercial, where he's repeating the same things over and over again and making it basically incoherent, and then he's like, maybe we should get AI to stop writing these things. You know he's joking, but that's also factual from what I have discovered. Let's continue this video.
Which means we let it steal art respectfully.
The real question isn't what AI can do, it's what you can do with our freemium plan, unlimited tiers, and forced yearly renewals. These aren't employees, they're dreamers. And when they nap, we collect their neural data. It's all consent-based. They clicked agree on the coffee machine.
This is how I made $11.42 passively using ChatGPT and a dropshipping store. Step 1, believe.
My AI startup doesn't do anything, but we're very clear about that. That's the product. Radical transparency. AI-powered cornflakes. The future of breakfast is here.
Real flavor, real crunch, zero actual intelligence. But it's got AI in the name.
We're proud to introduce the world's first sentient HR department. It fired itself this morning.
We messed up. We accidentally erased every photo of your dead relatives. But the important thing is, we learned.
Before AI, I had no idea what I was doing. Now I sell 12 prompts for $99 and coach executives on how to say AI-powered and human-centric in every sentence.
It's not just a giraffe. This is a manifestation of my...
And, alright, so there we go. Technically, yes, they are making fun of the AI, which is kind of the point. But some of what they are saying is true, where people think that AI is stealing from artists. And why I do think sometimes it goes a little too far, like resurrecting dead singers for new songs. Or using artists. I'm on YouTube all the time, and I always see these AI concept songs for movies or shows or whatever, and I think that's going too far. But that being said, when it comes to using AI for anything else, upon further research, I have also discovered that if you use AI to help you with anything, you cannot copyright it. Because it says that intellectual property has to come from a person, not a machine. So, if you're just putting in a prompt, then legally, you can't own it. Furthermore, if you generate any images from it, those cannot be copyrighted either. So you also do not own them. They are public domain. These are things you should know if you're ever going to use AI. Now, with that being said, they say you can't copyright your intellectual material if you're just putting prompts into a machine to have them help with that. But here's the catch. It is your intellectual property. The government might not see it that way, but they are wrong. Because when I was trying to work with it and getting nowhere, because the material I want to write wasn't even allowed. And then trying to work around that, like I said, I tried all these other ones just to do research, find out if it's as good as everyone says it is. It's not. They suck. But it is still your property. Because it is your idea, your characters, your thoughts, your ambition. You have to, even on Amazon, when I publish a couple of my books, it actually says on there, because it wants to know, and its choices are that you used AI for a little, for a couple sections with no editing, and it goes all the way up to, for basically the entire works with extensive editing, because the AI sucks. Do not use this unless you are desperate. I know that there are smart, creative people out there that can go without using this artificially stupid systems. I'm not going to call it artificially intelligent. And what's worse is part of what this commercial is saying is true. They charge you for it. Yeah, you have free versions, but then they really are going to rake you through the coals on what you can or cannot do. The only way to really get anything done is to pay for it, which is now going to cost you money for a system that doesn't even work properly. You go on and you read the reviews for these AI programs, and they are going to tell you the same thing. You know, it doesn't hold memory. It repeats everything. It doesn't follow instructions. It forgets them. Do your research. Be smart. And in that rare case that you actually want to use it for something, maybe it's helpful for you in other ways, like coding, or maybe you don't care if you can copyright an image. I mean, like me, I can write my own material, but I have had to have my book covers and stuff generated because I have zero artistic ability when it comes to drawing. And so the AI does help with that. And even they can't get it right. When you're free, you get 3 tries a day. Generally, that's not going to work. One of my books took me 2 weeks just to get an acceptable cover because of the limitations. Because you can't dial them in exactly the way you want, or you can't, or it does something else. I mean, I've had to add characters that aren't even in my book. I've had strange, dark backgrounds and all these weird things, even though I'm telling them exactly what I'm looking for. So they don't listen. So you are going to work hard. It'd be better if you have the money just to pay somebody to draw it for you, and then you can share the credit. You know, you as the author, them as the illustrator for the cover art. If you know somebody that could do it for you, or if you have the money to literally pay somebody to do it. But if you're trying to get off the ground and work, then you're basically going to be taking forever. So, why I will not use AI for my writing, I will continue to work hard and use my creative mind and do it myself. I assume most other people feel the same way because you're actually going to work harder if you don't. But for art, I do get it. If you need that picture for this or that, or to add to something else you're doing and you can't draw, and you don't know anybody who can draw, and you can't afford to pay anybody, then use it. I've also recently discovered you can use AI for coding. I do not know how to code. I won't even begin to know how to prompt AI to code what I want to, because I do have ideas for a few apps, but that's a different story. So, in summary, AI can be both good and it can be bad. It depends on how you use it, and the laws governing it and the restrictions around it are also not okay. Because just because you're using a little help should not mean that you lose the rights to your material. And just because you need help on one thing when you are fine with others does not mean you should lose that ability to own what belongs to you. So again, for writing, it sucks. It is bad, really bad. Art, so-so. It's not great, but if you're in a bind, you'll eventually get there. Coding, I've never tried it. I wouldn't even begin to know where to start. But I just found this video interesting because they are both making fun of it and being serious at the same time when they're saying that it's taking art away from artists. It's not. These artists, the ones that do use it, more power to you, because you're going to be working twice as hard. And the ones that don't, then great. You know, it's good to know that you can be out there like me and just do it yourself. Like I said, my intro into the AI was, I found out about it 2 years ago. I figured I would check it out just to see what it's about, and I do not like it at all. This is my opinion. Let me know yours down in the comments below. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.